Hi guys and girls. Today we are going to do entitled parents. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can see my next videos. Let's get right into it. I finally encountered an airport EP. Just a wee bit of background for y'all and a TLDR at the bottom. So school has just let out for us and summer break is on its way. I'm traveling with my family to the States for some fun stateside jazz. So our flight is at the ungodly hour of 3 AM, so most people just want to sleep. My family didn't pay to be sat together, so we were spread all throughout the economy class seats. I got lucky with my seat having it be right at the window. I've gotten comfy with my small ass pillow and blanket and get ready for a nice sleep. I heard shuffling in the aisle and think nothing of it since people are still getting on the plane. When someone taps my shoulder. Hey hun, you're in my spot. I open my eyes and look up at the Karen and kid. Sorry, but my tickets say 10 AM. I'm in the right spot. I'll help you find out where you need to go if you want. She scoffs at me but hands her tickets over. I mentally sigh. 10B and 10C. Well, you don't need to go far. This is your row, I said as I handed them their ticket back. Then why don't you move if this is our row? M said as she tapped her foot. There are 3 seats. A, B, and C. I have seater and you guys have seats B and C. Please sit down so the passengers can pass you. I keep saying because calms this thing seeing I'm giving her some respect, but With a huff she and her kid shuffled into the seat and shortly after we took off. The first 1 to 4 hours passes and since it's an 11-hour flight there are movies and jazz. The M is in the aisle and the kid in next to me. The kid taps my shoulder and asks if I can open the window so she could look out. I told her I couldn't since I might wake up other people, but I would in an hour or so. She nodded and went back to her movie, and so do I. Maybe 5 minutes go by when the M reaches across both of us and flips the window sheet open. Very bright light in pitch plain, great power move. I slam it shut while rubbing my eyes. Why? I ask as I adjust to the darkness again. My kid wanted to look out the window and you wouldn't let her. She's a kid, just give her what she wants. I spoke to you kid about it and we agreed I'd open it in an hour since some people are still sleeping. Her response. Well, I don't care about the other people, my kid wanted something so I gave it to her. The kid looks like she wants to crawl under the seat. I ignore the M for most of the flight until it comes to the lunch. She and her kid get their stuff and when I'm about to ask the flight attendant for lunch the M waves them along saying, my other child isn't hungry. I was confused but managed to get lunch when they were on their way back. Giving the M a really lady WTF face while I ate. As promised I opened the window for the kid and all was well. I pulled my laptop out and began to play some games, Undertale, Sims, Plants v Zombies. All offline games. Hey, you aren't supposed to have that out. I actually can because it's in airplane mode, I respond. I continue playing until this fish slams my computer closed. I pull my hands out and take a deep inhale. Leave me the hell alone. I snap. Excuse me, who do you think you are talking to me like that? I'm the kid that's not gonna take shit from some adult that I don't know. How dare you curse in front of my child? She didn't really scream like I've implied, but she did raise her voice. Just leave me alone, I said as I ignored her 30-minute rant about me. Her hands covering the kid's ears as she ranted. The rest of the flight had a heavy tension but not much was said afterward. Hope that kid doesn't get spoiled and turn into an EK. This wasn't on the extreme side of entitled parents but still. TLDR, EP tries to get me to move seats, fails and for the rest of the flight is just an annoyance. M interrupts me comforting my toddler after M's kid attempts to murder my child. At the park. I actively try not to be a helicopter parent, but my daughter is only 2 and this park is designed for older, I don't know, giants maybe. And the equipment is all really high off the ground. So I am hovering. My daughter goes up the stairs to the platform for the slide, so I go to race around to the other end to catch her once she slides down. I notice she is very close to what is basically a sheer cliff drop off to the side, where there's a chain ladder up to the same platform. All of a sudden, a little boy, maybe 3-4, turns around and out of nowhere fully shoves her off the platform, about 5-foot drop on 2 wood chips. I scream in terror, everyone freezes, she starts screaming. I immediately pick her up and start evaluating her injuries. People are murmuring he pushed her off, etc. The boy is standing at the edge of the platform, staring surprised at the scene. I'm cradling my wailing daughter on the ground, people are calling 911, and giving us space. Some woman rushes up, brushing past me and grabs the kid and turns to me, I wasn't watching. What happened? He pushed her. I didn't see. Me, yes, I was watching but I couldn't catch her. So you're saying he pushed her? I wasn't watching him so I didn't see. I didn't know how to reply to that. I look up dumbfounded. She asks me again. Someone else steps in between her and us and replies on my behalf, since I'm busy experiencing maybe the most frightening moment of my life. Yes, we all saw he pushed her violently off the platform. She keeps asking her kid if he pushed her. Then the lady just grabs her kid and literally speed walks off with him under one arm, kicking and screaming. So this just happened on Tuesday and I am still in shock, but my daughter is fine. Took her to the doctor, nothing broken, no concussion, just some cuts and bruises. Just processing this, I think this was really shitty behavior. Like, I wasn't accusing her of anything, I didn't call out her or her kid, but she's all up in the way asking about her kid, who is fine, when I'm trying to comfort my daughter and see if she broke anything. Like, I get it. Kids can be assholes, although geez, this felt really violent and random, so I wouldn't fault the child or his mom, even though she wasn't watching him, but not asking if my daughter is okay. No attempt at, I don't know, an expression of sympathy or an apology. Not making her kid apologize. Then setting an awesome example of personal accountability by fleeing the scene of the crime. Like geez lady, no wonder your kid is a junior sociopath. TLDR, I watch as a boy randomly and deliberately shoved my 2-year daughter off a slide platform. Shows up demanding answers from me as I try to comfort the child, then takes off without an apology when she realizes her kid was at fault. There's no happy ending to this one. Hello again, I decided today is a good day to tell a story about the Ed that turned my whole life upside down, so let's get on with this. This happened 6 years ago. It was a week after my birthday and we decided to throw a late birthday party. My parents were busy with work on my actual birthday, so we rescheduled the party. I invited quite a few of my friends, but one of them didn't seem to show up. His father called my parents saying he'd be late to the party. The party was from 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. He never showed up. Once the party was over, we were heading home. We're about 5 or 10 minutes from Oslo, cause we had the party at our lodge just outside the city, and talking about how fun the party was. That conversation was cut short when a vehicle drifted into our lane and collided with us. I blacked out. When I woke up in a hospital bed, I started to panic, but the doctor that was running tests on me to make sure I'm okay told me to calm down and that I was all right. After about 20 to 30 minutes of questioning and small tests, I asked the big question. Me, sir. Where are my parents? The doctor basically froze there for 10 seconds and responded, and I'll never forget what he told me. Op, I'm so sorry but, your parents didn't survive the crash. My parents were deceased. I was informed that my dad was killed on impact, and my mom was pronounced dead when she arrived at the hospital with me. I couldn't believe it. I wanted to cry, but all I felt was anger. I knew the person whom drifted into my lane was at fault, so I asked who crashed into us. It was my friend Dad, the goddamn Ed. Apparently Ed was under the influence of something when he arrived and ID currently handcuffed to a hospital bed. One of the nurses told me later that he was demanding help before his son would be treated, his son that was on goddamn life support because of the accident. He was sent to jail for a DUI and I don't know if he's been released or not, but if he's out there he better hope we don't cross paths. I'm currently living in a foster home with a wonderful family who treat me like I'm their own flesh and blood, but as long as I'm alive, I'll never forget my real parents, and I'll never forget my best friend, and I'll never forgive Ed for what he's done. Thank you for listening. Edit. Thank you all for the positive support, I really appreciate it. The awards aren't necessary, but thank you anyways. For all of you wondering, my friend did pass away 3 days after the accident, and I don't know if the father has been charged with more than DUI, but there is a high probability that he was charged with manslaughter. And yes, I do hope he's still rotting in a jail cell. He shouldn't be allowed to walk the streets. If he is at all.